Cool. Okay, so this is about this, 32 inches long. So, what are the things? First up on the list is, I lowered the microphone volume because I saw it was clipping a lot. Even when I didn't think it was clipping, I heard it was clipping a lot. So right now the microphone's there, and I lowered it down to 33 rather than 37 for both the microphones and the gain. So like right now, I don't hear any clipping at all. Don't hear any clipping, don't hear any clipping, don't hear any clipping, don't hear any clipping, don't hear any clipping. There's no clipping. There's clipping right now. Well, not right now. Happens right there at that volume, but not much before that. So okay, so that's something. We'll see, because I feel like I don't hear the clipping, but you hear the clipping, and I think it might also be because the computer is kind of maxed out. But right now there's 34% or 25% idle on the system. So, but it's possible when the system spikes. I mean, when it's at 75% of computer usage, and you have one spike from one program, then I can see how that might just make it mess up for a second. So this is all kind of running a bit on a tight wire. Okay, so things I want to test now. There's a couple things I want to test. First off, I want to test, it's all going to be with this. So there's another camera here, and I can get rid of this one. Oh, for some reason there's two things here. This one. Get rid of it. Okay. Yeah, so there's two different things here. They're both the same camera. And, yeah. So, first I'm going to check this out. This is if I go vertical on the camera. And this is, the camera's right there, that's currently up there. But, yes, this works, but it doesn't get the whole keyboard. So the whole keyboard I'm getting is, I think, 32 inches long. And so this is, it shows it, well, this is when it's right above the other camera, at which point that doesn't really work because it's a little bit high, and also it's cuts off the top of my head and it cuts off the keyboard. So it kind of works, but not really. And this is also up, this is not the full extent of the height. So the full extent of the height is actually quite lower. So the frame is actually very thin here, but yeah, so it does work there actually. That's a good thing I checked that, because that totally changes it. Okay, so now when I'm over here, it does, and it gets just those things. Okay, I should be more descriptive here. So it gets, this is 0, and this is around 6 inches. So it cuts off the back 6 inches of, or the side 6 inches of the keyboard on the left, and then on the right cuts off, this is 32 and this is 27. So it cuts off just about 6 inches on both sides of the keyboard, and it's there. If I move it back, I can do that, but of course that changes things more. So this is basically the furthest back I could move it. This is in front of the window now, and this is kind of like that. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, maybe 4 inches. But 4 inches is where the end of the keyboard is. Also, I don't need all the keys for the keyboard, because some of the keys can be over there, so that's another thing to think about too. Or like the controls of the keys, rather, on the keyboard that I have, it's on the left side. So that's 12 inches on there, and then over here we have 32 and we have 28. That's about 4 inches. So it's about 4 inches on both sides if I can go all the way back, which means that it might work on the width. Also, another thing I want to check too is how this looks. So this is a way that I can keep the space, because the other way is kind of whack. You get all this lost space and it's all black and stuff like that. And being that I'm doing it vertically, it's nice to keep it in the horizontal canvas for most purposes. And I don't think I want to switch back and forth. I don't even know if OBS can switch back and forth between the video canvas dimensions or whatever you call it. Yeah, I don't think it has that capability of doing like that. So, yeah. So, but it'd be cool though. I mean, this kind of works, but not really. It's just a lot of wasted space, and I'm very small. But this would be good, really, because if I do that, I can keep it back here, and I don't even really need. I mean, that's good enough, really, for that. And I can also do it more like this. I can do it like this, really. Why is there so much space above me, though? It's got to be more like this. Yeah, so it could be like this. In which case it would be right next to that camera. And then I'm wondering if people who are watching, I mean, it doesn't really work if you're watching on like a laptop or TV so well, because it's always sideways then. But most people watch on like like a phone or a tablet, like an eye. So in that case, it might be better for that reason. And then if I want to edit it, I mean, in the future, all those things would be easier by doing it like that. But that is one way. I mean, I could do it like I was planning on thinking about before, like this, and that works relatively well too. That might work best actually, because that gets the whole frame, and things are a bit on the side. But I can also cut those on the side. I can just go and go and crop those out, you know? Just be like, whoop, it's very difficult to do right now. Yep, just crop it like that, and then just crop it like this, and then I get basically the full length here, and then I can also make it bigger, maybe? Nope, you can't make it bigger, because then you lose that crop. Yep, and also getting stuck on the window here too. But, I mean, that works pretty well. Let me get the whole frame here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so cropping, I don't know if cropping it really works well, but with this way, you can get the whole frame. It's also like that, and this definitely gets in the way of the blinds, so I don't know if it's going to work really well, and the camera gets in the way there. Maybe it's over here though. That works. If the blinds aren't in the way, then I can definitely do it like that. The blinds are in the way, and I don't think I'm going to get rid of the blinds. So this, although it can be pressing up against the blinds, so that's an option too. That might be better than the vertical shot, but well, that's something to consider. And then where's my other shot? Yeah, here we go. Oh, I changed this one. What did I do here? Oh yeah, that's what I did. I cropped it. Let me just uncrop it now so I can get back to these vertical shots. Actually, let me just duplicate it, just in case I still want that. I did a good job cropping it, people. Okay, cool. So yeah, check out that. Check out to see how that looks when I do it like that. Also, I can check out the software. Check out the software. Check out the capture software for 920 camera on PC and see if the vertical orientation helps, because maybe that makes it where, I don't know how that would help, but it's worth checking. Okay, cool. So we got that. Another thing I want to check too, I want to check this over here as well. So first we'll take this. There's two more things I want to check out here, and then I think I'll play one song. And I gotta go to a tennis lesson in like 15 minutes. I don't have much time actually. Okay, so what are we doing here? Do we have enough slack? We have enough slack, yes. Okay, so now we're over here. Let me move this here too. Okay, cool. So now, if we're like this, then, so this is like right below. This is the whole frame, by the way. Nothing is cropped out or missing from the screen here. So this, I want to move this here too. So this is again my 32 inches keyboard, and the keyboard's also 8 inches deep. So the keyboard ends over here, right here. Very helpful. I know this video, so not really too big of a deal. Okay, now that's another thing too. You gotta move that microphone around. So this is if it's like this on the outside here, in which case let me move this up a little bit because we know the slant is getting down. Okay, so that's kind of cool. I mean, that looks good with that, but then we only get up to 16 inches. We get about half the keyboard there, and we would get the wasted buttons that aren't that interesting to see, but still interesting to see probably on the left side of like 4 inches or so. So there definitely would be some cutoff there. If we did it up here, come on. Okay, that's good. Got all the wire now, people. We got all the wire we need. Okay, so if we did it over here, then looks like this thing is bent on camera. Okay, so if we did it here, then same deal really. You can get the whole thing. I'm not on me right now. That's because it's not really in front of me. That's another thing too. When you go to the side, it loses out on how much like depth and tall it gets. So yeah, you get that. You wouldn't really get the keyboard there. If you did over here, then you can get the keyboard, and in that case you can get probably the whole keyboard really. Maybe? I don't know. Oh my god, this is kind of confusing. Okay, yeah, so it's like this. So if I did like this, and this is actually a little bit in front of the monitor because that's where it's comfortable, but here is 4 inches in, 5 inches in from that side, and then on this side we are about 4 inches or 5 inches in. And then if we go back more behind the monitor, well, we can't go too far behind the monitor unless we go high. But if we want to go high, then we can get the whole thing over here. And in that case, we have me, my full body and head, and then this goes up to 6 inches or so, 7 inches actually. Actually, yeah. Oh, that's why it was behind the stick, behind the monopod. That's actually 8 inches on that side, but there's also an inch on that side where it's not at, so it's probably more like that, and this is all the way there. Yes, this could be more like this, in which case then basically the whole thing is being seen, because we see the whole thing there, and then over here is just like this. Oh, where am I? Yeah, so that's a couple inches off, and that's back where the camera is, this is where the camera is equal with the front of the light now. I just moved it back a little bit. So if I keep the camera equal with the front of the light there, then it probably does do that. And then I can do it like this. And then also let me check it while I'm sitting, just because that's easier to kind of hold in a way like that. Okay. So, yes. Now this is with it resting on the corner of the top left corner of the light. And this is turning it a little bit to get the other things out of the camera. And yeah, then this is over here. This covers the whole entire thing right to the end. And this over here doesn't cover the whole thing, but it could, but then it gets in the way. But it does cover almost the whole entire thing. It just stops right over there basically, because there's instruments there. But those instruments can be cool to be on the side of the wall too though. So that camera angle could work, I think. I could also do it over here potentially. Come on, wire. And do it something like this, or something like this. But that's kind of weird. I don't think that really helps. And I can also do it down here. I could also do it here too. But same thing there. This is when it's right on top of the monitor, basically. If I wanted to mount it on the actual monitor, I'm actually resting it there. And this works pretty well. This might be good because it is low, and then also because it's low and like right in front of it, basically. And it doesn't really, I mean, it blocks one thing on the taskbar, or a couple things on the taskbar. But I guess I can just not use the taskbar so much, maybe. Or I can just slide it over here where there's nothing being used on the taskbar. That's probably a better idea. Yeah, then I could mount it on the actual monitor itself, and I wouldn't have to mount it with any sort of other thing. Could be the best idea with this. And then if I keep it like that, then that's already kind of off there, although the monitor moves sometimes, so that might not be a great idea. But yeah, then this is 25 inches. And also further back you lose more of it too, but at least just going by the front of it, 25 inches, so that's 7 inches in is when you start to see it, the keyboard. And then this is, you start to see it 4 inches in. So there's probably going to be compromise about losing the keyboard on these shots, but you'll be able to get some of it. If we do these shots, we don't know, but they're something we can try. And then here's, if we go lower, then we can go like this, kind of, and yeah, so something like that. And now we did that, then should probably get a bit more of this too. Nope, that's about what we can do without getting the other things in the shot. And then this goes to 7, no, this goes to 8 inches, no, 9 inches, and this goes to 22 inches. 22 inches? Yeah, 23 inches maybe, 22 inches. So that definitely has a lot less, because then you only have like 10 inches or so of table there, and that's only the front of it. So there's that. And the other thing I want to test too is the overhead camera angle that we have going on over here. So to do this, I think it's best to probably turn this camera like this, and then go like this. So the overhead camera over here could be, I don't know exactly the best way that it would work, but it'd be have to come from back over here somehow. Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay, so we don't need nearly that much back space over there. We can lift this up a little bit, and then it could be kind of like that. And that could be helpful, because then you get the whole entire thing. And you can also zoom in, and you can also move it more over here too. And then you can also get, if I'm playing an instrument, like say the violins on me, of course I can't really hold this, but it might be back here. It's probably more like back there really. But, or if I'm playing this, I mean I can't really hold it where it actually would be, but that's another shot too that kind of works. So that's an interesting idea. And that could be mounted from the ceiling probably, or maybe somewhere else, I don't know. And then you could zoom into there too. It doesn't have to be so high too. Right now this is the same height as the, just about the bottom of that drum that's just hanging up from the ceiling. That drum. And then we could do the same test over here, which is like this. Oh, I mean you could do like this too, but I don't think that's helpful. I think it's probably better to do it from the other direction because it's easier and then the microphone's not in the way. This side might be different, but here is the same height. This is like, I don't know, hand high basically. Hand high, yep, like as far as high as it can reach basically. So you could do it like that, and you could do it like that, and then also, like I said before, you could play it. This is kind of a helpful shot. So this is basically how big the keyboard is what's getting in the shot, and then also you get the guitar too. And so that's a good instrument shot. And also I'd move it over more, but right now I have to hold the monopod, so that's not totally accurate what it would be like. But yeah, so that would work. And then this could be mounted, probably also a ceiling mount too. I don't know if I want to do that many ceiling mounts, but it's an option for how it could be mounted. Or it could do like, I don't know, a table mount or something like that, but that might fall or take up a lot of weight or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, and then I can also do it like this, where it gets both of them. And that would be, this is right underneath the actual light. It's actually touching the light right now. In which case, that does get just about the whole table on both sides. And then if I zoomed in, I'm curious how much I could zoom in and keep a good resolution. Like if I'd be able to get a zoomed in shot of my fingers over here, and then crop that out when not using it, and then vice versa. And that is getting rid of, that is not including the whole table there, but it's including a bit extra there. So it wouldn't include the whole table unless it is like this, in which case then it does. But then it's also very difficult to access for like doing like the shutter, the cover, what I'm doing is so high, so it's not really practical to put it that high. Another option is maybe like this, having the camera just like this, somehow mounted on this table. Like this, and you can get that. That might be the best way to do it, really, because that's pretty simple to do. I wonder if this is in the way of here. Probably is in the way of this one. So this one, yeah, so this camera is in the way over here right now. And then if I put it more like over here, that could work too. That might be the best way, because that's pretty easy to mount it there, and then it would not be on that camera, not on that way, on that camera until it's over there, and then you can get the full keyboard right there. So that might be the best shot for that, because that's way easier than doing an overhead camera, and it's pretty good, and it gives an interesting angle. And that can also be used for the ukulele or whatever instrument there, probably better than the overhead shot. So these things to know. And then I can also do it vertical like that too. I don't know if that'd be helpful, but how am I looking here? Like this. Yeah, everything just looks weird right now. Okay, so now I'm just going to do, I have to go in like 5 minutes, so I'm just going to go, I want to play a little bit of one song, and then I'm going to go. Okay, we're back. Okay, and the song I want to play a little bit of is Jim Croce. Started listening to this guy recently. I Got a Name. I don't know a lot of this song, but I know some of it. So like the pine trees lining the window road, I got a name. I've got a name. So this is with it off. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I've got a name. I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, living the dream that he kept hid. And this is with it at like 5% or so. Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name. I've got a name. So I hear like a little bit of clipping there. I don't hear it there. I hear it a good amount there, but probably not as much as you hear it, though, I feel like. And then I don't hear it at all when I'm doing. Like the pine trees lining the window roll, I've got a name, I've got a name. I don't think I heard any clipping there, maybe a little bit as I was doing the second. I've got a name, I've got a name. And we're between like 50 and 70% on the activity monitor in terms of CPU. So right now we have 30, maybe 50 and 80%, because right now we have 38% free. We just have 30% free. And I carry it with me like my daddy did. Oh, I'm rolling down. Okay, so this is at like 10%, I guess. This is at 0%, 10%, 20%. And I carry it with me like my daddy did. But I'm living the dream that he kept his. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. So I didn't hear clipping. Maybe I heard a bit of clipping. It doesn't sound bad to me when I do it. Maybe there's like a slight clip, but moving me down the highway. So it does sound like there's a bit going on there, but not that much though. And also the microphone is probably like, I don't know, a foot away from me too. If I move it closer, then I'll probably hear more. Moving me down the highway. I do hear it there. Rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like a north wind whistling down the sky, I've got a song, I've got a song. I do hear it a bit there. Like the whirlpool and the babies cry, I've got a song. And then also this is still like 20%. Let me try moving it down to 5%. Like the whirlpool and the babies cry. I heard it there. I've got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. It gets me nowhere, I'll go there proud. Okay, I do gotta go though. I have to go right now, because otherwise I'll be late for this lesson, and we don't want that. We don't want to keep people waiting. So I will see you later. It's been a good, productive stream, I think. Bye.